Okay then, it has been for 2 months without NASCAR content, but today we're gonna be playing NASCAR Racing by Ken and by K01T. But looks like that sounds probably for such as pretty cursed or whatever to do this. And it's such as one thing for I'm not gonna be interested about that I was listening. Because of this extremely hip hop as well, it was pretty stupid as well. So, but the first thing we're gonna be trying to start whatever to do this. This is the menu stage, and it was pretty cringe for such as for a street legal NASCAR racing about here. So first thing we have to store here, we have laps required and codes. But the first thing is the most expensive is gonna be even for 1,000 laps. I shouldn't be able to be getting here for about Robux. That everything costs Robux, especially for movie cars, concept vehicles like Dodge, Chevy, and Ford concepts are using for do this. 4 Cup cars, 1999 for Generation 4s. The Craftsman trucks or world can't be gained like these things. Xfinity, Car of Tomorrow will cost 100 Robux, SRX Premium, and custom schemes, whatever in movie cars, whatever we doing this, and also cost Robux, including for such as laps that you just able to get it. So it is time to do for its practice for a very first time. I'll be selecting Ford Mustang, and we're not doing for absolutely for such as races. So the first thing is race mode, which is actually recommended to do this, but the race mode beta, it was expect bugs and extremely lag as hell. Unfortunately, that causes my internet connection ruined whatsoever, but I suggest we're gonna be going for practice. Let's head it around to Daytona International Speedway. So we have available tracks right here. We have Daytona International Speedway, Talladega Super Speedway, Indianapolis Auto Club, Homestead, Miami, Texas Motor Speedway, Bristol, The Glen, and Phoenix, including such as Pocono. We're gonna be started right over here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks, six tracks, whatever it is, 7, 8, 9, 10 tracks. You gotta be having for 10 tracks to choose from, but I'll be choosing Daytona International Speedway. Alright, let's just gonna be head over that one. I never felt that we don't have any kinds of drivers, but we have for a first badge here, because I'm just probably listening for there's only one here. It's all cleared. We're gonna be doing for spectate because there are no drivers everywhere on this track. But unfortunately, this game is no longer popular as well, but since 2021 and 22. Unfortunately, we cannot be able to get for our views back as well because no longer being for to do this as well, and nobody plays of this game anymore. Because this track looks like probably not sure it wasn't gonna be probably to do this. Because I'm gonna be trying to spawn a car that I'll lead out into the pits as well. So looks like we have our 24-hour clock time. We have for such as closely, I'm not sure that we're gonna be headed back into the menu. So looks like we have the leaderboard onto the race mode. I cannot believe we don't absolutely try to erase the entire board as well. So laps and wins requires to do this. So I cannot believe that I'll be able to spawn a car as well. I'll be starting the Ford Mustang, and we're ready to get some monstrous heat. It sounds like really a little bit realistic as well, but not as well. So if I just gonna be hitting to accelerate, it sounds pretty awkward as well, such as Ford Mustang. But the first thing we're gonna be using sequential mode. Only 2 transmissions available. We're gonna be starting for ahead of the lap times we possibly indeed it. So the speedway looks old, but that we never saw is the road course open. But looks like I would be able to recommend it, that I'll be getting a little bit of one time for such as using for GT3 cars. And I would be able to recommend it, as always, try to get a little bit as well for GT3 cars as well. And I'll be subject to use for such as mouse control. But I'm not going to be doing for this a little bit anyways. But this game was actually better than actually colliding itself. Race mode is absolutely collidable as well. But looks like in the outside of the track, I think that I found a secret as well. But I'm blasting anyways, and I just completely hit the contact the vehicle. 204 miles per hour. It's actually pretty that perfect. Is it that lap invalid? I think it is. So in the 4th gear, when I was racing. This is the Daytona 2019. Oh dear, this is absolutely pretty cursed, whatever it is. The first thing is to slow down. The lap times were disabled, and I cannot believe that doesn't enable to be back here. So it looks like in our next generation of NASCAR racing, but looks like the A chassis are even better now. But I'm probably sure this is pretty easy to just going to spin all the way around here. Oh dear, this isn't gonna be pretty such as a good place as well. Instead of corner cutting as well, we don't have actually winds as well. The sun has stuck up here. Instead of a 24-hour race, we have a limited amount of fuel. When it runs out, it is too late to head back into the pits. But itself for about the fuel efficiency or whatever it tried to do, it is 204 miles an hour once again, and it was too late to get around of these things done. But it's also too late. That wasn't going to be doing for this right now. And we're really not think the sun is moving a little bit forward, and we're back to 200 miles an hour back as well. As you can see, there must be a problem back here. We didn't have any kinds of laps, but looks like it's time to choose the speedway. But I'm all over the top as well. Still 204 miles an hour. But looks like we have ourselves a mini-map since the beginning of this video. Since the sun has not coming down yet, and isn't going to be going to just like it was. But before the sun is going to be setting right over here, this isn't going to be just like the way it works. So, the lap times isn't working anymore. But I'm afraid this isn't going to be going to do just like it's going to be even try to do what it's best. So, let's head back into the pits, and we're going to be trying to change some tires. And probably we're going to be decelerate a little bit at one time. Once I'm just finally decelerate, let's head back into the pits, and because of its final chicane, which can kill anything about up there, I mean, it should be able to kill someone else, or making contact, or causing for a major deaths with some other kinds of stupidly narrow vehicles a little bit as well. So, I'm going to be using for the number 00. We're going to be clicking here to pit, and it does pretty work, and it sounds pretty a little bit grateful for just one thing. The engine's disabled while you're pitting. and the pits was actually done, the engine has completely automatically starts, and you're continue to go again. And unfortunately, everything about of these laps doesn't work. I really think this is absolutely the unfortunately way. We're not able to change anything because of course we're not doing for just like it's one thing. And I'm afraid I was actually not going to be going around here to get back itself one front time. So I couldn't be able to do this, but I'm actually not that pretty bad. I'm not a driver for about all of these things. So we have 5 seconds before removal. I cannot believe that I was becoming a driver. So it is too late to become a driver as well. The car already despawns that I just completely jump out of nowhere, out of sight. So all you have to do, we shouldn't be able to click right over here. But unfortunately, that enables to change teams. And that was extremely unfortunate.